Hello, welcome to practice. For today's class, you will need 2 blocks and a yoga belt or something of the sorts. And you're going to start by placing your blocks towards the top of your mat about hip bone distance apart like this, the lowest height, the vertical way. Have your belt in reaching distance. We're going to start lying down on our backs. You'll bend your knees, bring your feet to the blocks. So you're not too close to the blocks, legs at maybe like a 90-ish degree angle. And then rest your arms in whatever way feels best. Could be out to the side, could be hands on the torso. Allow the eyes to soften or close, whatever feels best in this moment. And take a moment just to land onto your mat, into your body. Notice if there's any sensations that are a little extra loud. So maybe there's parts of the body that feel a little tight or sore, or maybe sleepy, parts that feel maybe more open and relaxed. So start to just notice what's present. And then invite a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Send the breath down into the low belly, fill up. Open your mouth, take a clearing exhale out of the mouth. And now start to find a smooth and steady breath in and out of the nose if possible. Start to even out your inhales with your exhales, finding a steady tempo to the breath, a steady tempo that you can come back to throughout your practice today. I always like to focus on the exhalation so that we're releasing more than we're taking in. And now with your next inhale, let your eyes just softly flutter open, letting a little light in. Now from here, bring your heels onto the blocks. So just the heels, and draw your toes back towards your face. Curl your tailbone up and move your front ribs down towards the frontal hip bone. So in other words, your low back becomes flat to the mat. We lose that natural curve of the low back. And just rest your arms down by your sides. Push into your heels, and as you inhale, lift the hips, come into a glute bridge. Don't even think of it as a back bend. Instead, curl the tailbone forward and up so you feel a pubic bone lift. Take another breath in, and then exhale, lower vertebrae by vertebrae, inch by inch. Push into your heels. Inhale again, lift the hips, glute bridge. As you exhale, lower and see if you can land your low back before your hips, before your bum comes down. Push into the heels. Inhale, lift the hips, glute bridge, pubic bone up. Exhale, lower vertebrae by vertebrae. Let's do 2 more. Push into the heels. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Land the low back first. 1 more time. Inhale, lift the hips. Hold at the top. Curl your tailbone up. Start to pulse your hips up and down. Just little baby pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower vertebrae by vertebrae. Say hello to your hamstrings. And now push the blocks forward. And from here, hug your right knee into your chest. I'm going to scooch back so I have more room on my mat. Straighten your left leg forward. Hold the right shin. And then grab your yoga belt or whatever you're using. Place it around the ball of the right foot and extend the leg up towards the ceiling. Give yourself enough room so that you can really straighten the right leg. Don't worry about how close it is to your face. Push up through your heel, draw your toes down towards your face. Wrap your right outer hip down and in towards the left heel. Make 2 sides of your waist equally long. And when you do that, the right leg might actually move a little further forward. That's okay. And then press your left thigh down. Make sure your left leg is just as active. Draw your left toes back towards your face. And with your exhales, ground through the left side. With your inhale, start to draw the right leg any amount closer in towards your face. And we did a little hamstring strengthening to start, so the back of that right leg might actually feel a little even more tight than normal. That's okay. It's equally important to strengthen as it is to open the hamstrings. 1 more inhale, bring the right leg any amount closer in. And then exhale, bend your knee, release the belt. And hug your left knee into your chest as you stretch the right leg forward. Place your belt around the ball of the left foot. Sorry if that was loud. Extend your leg up towards the ceiling. Give yourself enough room. My left side is much tighter than my right, so it might not be the exact same on this side, and that's totally okay. Push up through your heel, draw your toes down. Notice the left hip wanting to hike up. Wrap it down and in towards the right heel. Even if that pushes the leg a little further away, focus on keeping two sides of the waist equally long. And then press your right thigh down. Use your inhales to draw the left leg a little closer in, and use your exhales to press the right thigh into the mat. So just a few more breaths like that. Drawing the left leg in, pressing down through the right side, pushing up through the left heel. Take one more inhale, draw the left leg in. And then exhale, bend your knee, release. You can move the belt to the side and hug both your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze, a little rock side to side if it feels nice. And then from here, either roll onto one side of your body or rock and roll up and down the length of your mat. Cross over your ankles and come into a child's pose towards the back of the mat. I'm gonna get just a little music going. Bring your big toes to touch. Separate your knees to about hip bone distance apart. Let your hips melt back. Rest your arms in whatever way feels best. And breathe into the low back. Take an inhale. Stay as you exhale. Let the hips melt back a little more. Relax the shoulders. With your next inhale, roll up so you're sitting back on your heels. Come to a kneeling position on your shins. Lift the hips. Knees are about hip bone distance apart. And then from here, hands to hips, step your right foot forward, low lunge. Get your knee over your ankle. Lengthen your tailbone down. Breathe into the low back and spin your left hip forward. Bring your arms out wide to a T, palms forward. Take an inhale here. Exhale, sweep the arms forward. Try to touch fingers around your spine a little bit. And then inhale, arms out wide. Send your arms as far back as you can, but keep the front ribs in. Exhale, arms forward. Think of curling your tailbone under. Inhale, arms stretch back. Go as far back as you can. Open the chest. Exhale, sweep forward. Curl the tailbone under. Pause. Tailbone stays curled under. Inhale, reach your arms up. Low lunge. Maybe bend the front knee a little more. Last breath in, lift up. Exhale, lower your hands. Make sure your back toes are tucked under. If you like blocks for half splits, grab them. Shift your hips back a little bit. Slide the right foot forward and straighten the right leg. Draw your toes back towards your face. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Try your best to spin the left hip forward. Squeeze the right hip back. A little more length in your spine. Again, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Rebend your front knee, look forward. Step to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Feet hip bone distance apart. Bend your knees a lot. Let your head drop. Keep a bend in your knees, your chin tucked in. Roll up for 3, for 2, and 1. Draw your shoulders back at the top. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Reach up towards the ceiling as you inhale. Step your left foot behind the right foot as you exhale. Little bend in the knees. Try to sink your back heel, that left heel, into the ground. And then side bend to the right. Lift up and out of your legs. Inhale, come to center. Step left foot next to right. Reach your arms up. Hands together in front of your heart. Exhale. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward, maybe a little bend in the knees. Inhale, chest forward. Plant your hands, step your left leg back. Grab your blocks if you use them for pyramid. Keep your feet as they are. Take an inhale. Straighten the front leg. Exhale. Let's flow through that. Inhale, bend your front knee, runner's lunge. Exhale, straighten the leg, fold. Once more, inhale, bend. Exhale, draw your front leg straight. Come onto the right heel, draw your toes back towards your face. Lengthen your spine as you inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Take 2 more breaths here. Squeeze the right hip back and spin your left hip forward. And go ahead, rebend your front knee. Lose the blocks. Step 2, downward facing dog. First down dog, make sure your hands are shoulder width apart, your feet are hip bone distance apart. Pedal out your feet, start to bend into one leg and then the other. Take another deep breath in. Drop to your knees, exhale, child's pose. Big toes touch, rock your hips back. Breathe into the low back, inhale. Stay as you exhale. Roll up, sitting back on your heels. Come to a kneeling position, hands to your hips. Step your left foot forward, low lunge, get your knee over your ankle. Spin the right hip forward, press your back foot down. And then arms out wide to a T, palms forward, breathe in. Exhale, sweep the arms forward, round your spine a bit. Inhale, arms out wide, go as far back as you can while keeping the front ribs in. Exhale, sweep forward. Once more, inhale, arms out wide. Exhale, sweep forward, touch your fingers, pause, curl your tailbone under, and then inhale, arms high, low lunge. Maybe bend the front leg a little more. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, hands down. Make sure to tuck your back toes under. If you like blocks for half splits, grab them. Straighten your left leg, shift the hips back a little bit, come onto the left heel. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold in. Keep spinning the right hip forward. Draw the left toes back towards the face. Rebend your left knee, look forward, inhale. Step to a forward fold, exhale, feet hip bone distance apart. Bend your knees a good amount, relax your head. And now roll up and take your time, don't rush. Go very slowly, it's a roll up. And then at the top, draw your shoulders back, inhale, reach your arms up. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Step your right foot a little behind the left. I like to start with a bend in the knees and then push your right heel down. Can you straighten your back leg? Side bend to the left. Feet sink down, lift up and out of your legs. Come back to center, step right foot next to left. Hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, fold, maybe that soft bend in the knees, hinge at the hips. Chest forward, inhale. Hands down, step the right leg back, runner's lunge. Use your blocks if you like them for pyramid. Try to keep your feet as they are. Straighten your front leg. Ooh, I just got a big hip pop. Inhale, bend your front knee. I think a good one. Exhale, straighten the front leg. One more time, inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten the front leg, come onto your left heel, draw your toes back towards your face. It's like you're letting your left foot off the brake or off the gas pedal. Use your exhales to fold in towards your front thigh as much as you can. Rebend your front knee, lose the blocks, down dog, hips up and back. Pedal out your feet a little bit, bend into one leg. You could pause on each side for a breath, really waking up the backs of the legs. And then inhale, come forward, plank pose. Drop to your knees, exhale, point your toes. Curl your tailbone under. Reach your chest forward, even look a little forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower for 3, 2, 1, all the way to the belly. Stretch the legs long and back. Reach your arms back, palms face down. Inhale, lift your head, chest, shoulders off the mat. Leading from the inner thighs, float your feet off the mat. Try not to bend your knees just to get your legs higher. Keep your legs straight. Spin your inner thighs up. As you lengthen the tailbone down, keeping the legs straight, start to flutter your legs up and down and imagine the movement originating from your upper thighs, even from your glutes, doing the work. Try to roll your shoulders away from the floor. Lift the chest. Take another inhale here, keep your chest up. Now place your feet down and your hands down by the low ribs, elbows over the wrists. Low cobra position. Always feel free to stick with low cobra. This is a wonderful, active, strong back bend. Or upward facing dog. Using your arms, pull your heart forward. Using your legs, lift your thighs. Take a breath in. We'll meet in downward facing dog, hips up and back. Take a long breath in, gentle breath out. Lift your heels, inhale. Walk your feet to your hands, exhale. Heart forward at the top, long spine. Exhale, fold in. Come all the way to stand, inhale, rise, reach the arms up. Exhale, arms by your sides. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Sun A. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold, hinging at your hips. Inhale, heart forward. Plant your hands, step your left leg back. Right leg back, plank pose. The knees can be up or down. Take a breath in. Your choice, lower halfway or to the belly. Take your back bend of choice, could be up dog, could of course be low cobra. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Find a little stillness for a few breaths in down dog or child's pose or tabletop. Relax the head and neck. Press into your entire hand. Press down through every knuckle, every fingertip, and then push the hips up and back. One more inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, feet to your hands, step or hop forward. Lengthen your spine at the top, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach the arms up. Exhale, arms by your sides. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, heart forward. Plant your hands, step the right leg back. And then the left plank pose, knees up or down. Breathe in. Exhale, either lower halfway, chaturanga, or to the belly. Take your back bend, could be a back bend on the belly, could be up dog, take what your body needs. Downward facing dog. And then after that movement, find a little stillness. Remember, it doesn't have to be down dog, it could be child's pose. Only your body knows, or only you know what your body needs today. If you're in down dog, notice if your low back is rounding. Bend your knees if so, that takes the hamstrings out of the equation so that you can find the length in your spine. It doesn't mean you're not lengthening your hamstrings by bending your knees, but it's much better for the low back. One more inhale here, lift the heels. Exhale, feet to your hands, step or hop. Lengthen your spine at the top. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Arms up. Exhale, arms by your sides. Let's do one more sun A. We'll meet in down dog. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Lengthen your spine, breathe in. Plant your hands now, either step to plank or if you hop to bent elbows, chaturanga, you can hop to bent elbows. Come through your vinyasa. If you'd rather just step straight back to down dog, go for it. If you need a child's pose and then down dog, beautiful, go for it. Take a long breath in. Maybe an open mouth exhale. Now with your next inhale, come forward to a plank position. As you exhale, bring your right knee in towards your nose, lift it as high as you can. Three-legged down dog, right leg up and back, breathe in. Stay to exhale, square your hips to the mat, spin the right outer hip down or all your right toes pointing down. Now keep that, can you raise the right leg a little higher? One more inhale. Exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Get your toes in line with fingers. Inch it to the right so you're not on a tightrope. Come up to a high lunge, hands at hips. Bend your back knee a bit. Lengthen the tailbone down. Lift the front of your pelvis up. Bring your arms out wide to a T. Breathe in. Exhale, sweep the arms forward, round your spine a bit. Inhale, arms out wide, chest forward. Exhale, sweep forward, curl your tailbone under. Inhale, arms out wide, one more time. Exhale, sweep forward. Keep your tailbone curled under. Raise your arms up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Grab your blocks, place them on the highest height. Hands under the shoulders. Walk your blocks forward. Stand on your right leg, float your back foot off the mat, and just pause. Spin your left outer hip down, or all your left toes pointing down. Imagine a teacup was resting on your low back. Straighten your left leg a little more and reach your heart forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your left knee in towards your chest. And then step your left foot next to your right. Feet hip bone distance apart. Bend your knees, raise your arms, chair pose. Go down and back with your hips. Go up with your heart. Sit a little lower, take an inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Plant your hands, step your left leg back. Spin your back heel down. Line up your front heel with your back arch. Open up wide, warrior two. Take a nice long stance, get your front knee over your ankle. Ground through your right heel, lift the right hip, lower your back hip. So in other words, you're not leaning over your front thigh, but your hips are under your chest. Make sure you're not in a back bend, draw the front ribs in. Flip your front palm, reverse the warrior, lean up and back. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step to a plank. Drop to your knees. Point your toes. Curl your tailbone under. Reach your chest forward, even look a little forward. Take an inhale. Low push up. Exhale, lower halfway. And then push straight back up as you breathe in. Let's do two more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straight up. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, left knee into your chest, lift it as high as you can. Three-legged down dog, breathe in. Stay to exhale. Spin the left hip down, even if your left leg isn't as high. Are all your left toes pointing down? Straighten the leg, can you then lift it a little higher? One more inhale. Exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Get toes in line with fingers, then cheat it to the right. Hands to hips, high lunge. Bend your back knee. Drop the tailbone. Lift the pubic bone up. Chest is back over the hips. Arms out wide to a T. Breathe in. Exhale, sweep forward, round your spine. Inhale, go wide, heart forward. Exhale, sweep forward, try to touch fingers. Inhale, go wide, heart lifts. Exhale, sweep forward and pause. Tuck the tailbone under. Keep that, arms up. Low lunge. Breathe in. Hands to your blocks, breathe out. Stand on your left leg, float your back foot off the mat. Supported warrior three, and pause. Spin the right outer hip down. Remember, it doesn't matter how high your right leg is. Imagine that teacup was on the low back. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your right knee into your chest. And then step your foot next to your left. Feet hip bone distance apart. Bend your knees, raise your arms, chair. Go down and back with the hips. Up with your heart. Take another inhale here. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, heart forward. Plant your hands, step the right leg back. Spin your back heel down, line up front heel to back arch. Open up wide to a T. Take a nice long stance. Get your front knee over your ankle. Press into your outer back foot. Make sure there's no bend in the back knee. Notice if you're in a back bend, lengthen your tailbone down. Soften the eyes. Steady the breath. Keep the bend in the front leg. Flip your front palm. Reverse the warrior. Lean back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Plank. And drop to your knees in your plank. Point your toes. No back bend in the lower body. Curl the tailbone under. Look forward, heart forward. Breathe in. Low push-up, lower about halfway. Inhale, straight back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Child's pose, exhale. Take a deep breath in and a gentle breath out. Take about 5 breaths here. And stay for just another breath or so, coming back to that smooth and steady breath. In and out of the nose. And then slowly roll up, sitting back on your heels. Tense your fingertips behind you. The closer they are to you, the less of a back bend you're gonna be in. The further back your hands go, the bigger a back bend. Lengthen the tailbone down a little bit and then lift your chest. It's just a mini camel pose. If you want to lift your hips off your heels, if that feels okay, try it. Take a breath in. And then exhale, lower the hips. If they were up, bring your hands to your thighs, round your spine. Breathe into the back body. Downward facing dog. Crawl your hands forward. Take a full breath in. Gentle breath out. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, right knee into your chest. Lift it as high as you can. 3-legged down dog, breathe in. Exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Toes in line with fingers, cheat your foot to the right. High lunge, hands to hips. Have a little bend in your back knee. Ground through the right heel as you lean your chest back a bit. Arms out wide to a T, palms forward. Take an inhale. 1 time, sweep the arms forward, round your spine, and then keep the tailbone curled under. Arms up as you breathe in. Hands to your blocks as you breathe out. Stand on your right leg, float your left foot off the mat and pause. Straighten your left leg more, push back through the heel. And then spin your left outer hip down so your hips are facing the ground like a plank. And also like a plank, lift the front ribs and engage your core. And now either keep your hands flat or come to fingertips to work on balance a little bit. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your left knee in towards your chest. Inhale, straighten the left leg back. Exhale, bring your knee into your chest. Straighten your left leg back. Bring your knee into your chest. Pause, have a micro bend in your standing leg, that's the right leg. Slowly bring hands to heart center, come all the way to stand, left knee into your chest. Find your balance. Bring your hands under your left thigh, so under left thigh today. If you need to do this at a wall, go for it. Right hand is at a wall. Push the right thigh back. And now straighten your left leg forward. You're still holding under the thigh. This is like the pose we did on our backs. Lift the leg a little higher. Can you keep your leg up? Reach your arms up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, try not to back bend, and 1, left foot down. Chair pose, bend your knees. Take a breath in. Stay for an exhale. 1 more inhale. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, chest forward. Plant your hands, step your left leg back. Spin the back heel down. Warrior 2, open up wide. Bend the front knee. Flip your front palm, reverse the warrior. Straighten your right leg. Bring your arms out wide to a T. I'm gonna walk my back foot in like an inch. If you do so, keep your back toes slightly angled forward. Reach your right arm forward for as long as you can. Go forward, forward. And then bring your right hand to a block or lightly against your shin. Reach your left arm up. If you're using a block, have your palm flat. Whatever height works for you. Medium height is usually the best for me. Squeeze your right hip back. Send your chest forward. Make sure you're not in a back bend. Move your front ribs down towards the frontal hip bones. Breathe into your back body. Stay for another cycle of breath. Get rooted through your feet. And then start to bend your front knee. Lower your top hand down, step to a plank. This time, Vinyasa or straight to down dog. Full breath in, gentle breath out. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, left knee into your nose as high as you can. Three-legged down dog, breathe in. Step your left foot forward, breathe out. Cheat your foot to the left. Come to a high lunge, hands at your hips. Little bend in your back knee. Lean your chest back so it's over the hips. Arms at Y to a T. Take an inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms forward, round your spine. Arms up as you breathe in, high lunge. Hands to the blocks, exhale. Blocks are highest height, shoulder width apart. Stand on your left leg, float the right leg up and pause. Now squeeze your left hip back. Spin the right outer hip down. Think a plank, lift the front ribs, engage your core. Take an inhale. Exhale, right knee into your chest. Inhale, straighten the right leg. If you want to come to fingertips, do so. Exhale, right knee to chest. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, right knee to chest and pause. Have a micro bend in your standing leg. Come all the way to stand, right knee to chest. Hands under the right thigh. Pause. Push the left thigh back. Shoulders back. And then straighten the right leg. If you want to do this at a wall, go for it. Left hand at a wall. Breathe. This is just like the pose we did on our backs. Can you keep the right leg up? Reach your arms up. Take a breath in, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right foot down, chair pose, bend your knees. Take a full breath in, arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, chest forward. Hands down, step the right leg back. Spin the back heel down, warrior 2, open towards the long edge of your mat. Keep the bend in your front leg, reverse the warrior, lean back. Straighten your front leg, arms out wide. If you need to shorten the stance a little bit, do so. Back foot slightly angled forward. Reach your left arm forward, forward, forward. And then left hand to a block or against the shin. Reach your right arm up. Wrap your left hip back towards the right heel. Push the right thigh back. Use your inhales to find more length from the crown of your head to your hips. Use your exhales to spin the top ribs back, bottom ribs forward. One more breath here. And then slowly bend the front knee, bring your top hand down, move the blocks, step to a plank, Vinyasa or straight to down dog. And then drop to your knees, point your toes, sit back on your shins, tense your fingertips behind you. Roll the shoulders back, press your shoulder blades into your chest, a little bit of lengthening the tailbone down, and then heart lifts. If you want to try lifting the hips off the heels, try it. If it feels okay for the neck to look up, do so. Breathe in. Exhale, lower back down, hands to your thighs, round your spine. Crawl your hands forward. Come to a tabletop position, shoulders over the wrist, hips over the knees. And then from here, step your right foot outside your right hand, lizard lunge, knee over the ankle. And as you bend your knee, feel your hips come forward in space. And if your knee goes very far past your ankle, then you need to walk your left knee back a little bit. Now hands can be on blocks. If you like, reach your right arm up and just stay for a breath. Let your hips come forward. Turn your chest to the right as much as you can. And then reach your right arm back with your palm up, so palm facing the ceiling. And this next part you're not necessarily going to like, but it won't last long, and I swear it's good for your hamstrings. Bend your back knee as much as you can. Now we're not going to reach for the ankle today. Turn your left toes down so you're not pointing the toes. Bring your left heel as close to your left glute as you can. And then turn the right palm towards your left heel. Imagine you could touch your heel to your right palm. And it might happen, it might not, doesn't matter, but get as close as you can. Now start to push your hand and your heel into each other. So if you're actually touching, you're really pushing your hand into your heel into your hand. If you're not touching, you're imagining that you are. If your left hamstrings start to cramp up a little bit, that's okay. Breathe for 5, for 4, keep pushing, 3, 2, 1, release, bring your right hand down, tuck your back toes, straighten the back leg, rock forwards and backwards a little bit. I know, that's not always fun. Bring your left knee down, step back to a tabletop, flip your palms up, fingers face each other. I need a little wrist stretch, curl your fingers in and out. So lots of awareness on the hamstrings today. I like to work specifically on body parts in my classes because if you're just doing, full body classes, you're not really targeting a specific part of the body. Turn your fingers back forward, and it's really when we focus our awareness on one thing that we can actually make changes there. Step your left foot outside your left hand. Knee over the ankle. And then bend your front knee, let your hips come forward. If you want hands on blocks, grab your blocks. And if your knee is going really past your ankle, just scooch the right knee back a bit. Reach your left arm up, twist. Hips are coming forward. Press your back shin down. And then reach your left arm behind you, palm up for now, just to open the shoulder. Start to bend your back knee, bring your heel as close to your right glute as you can, turn your right toes down, and then bring your left palm towards the right heel and imagine they could touch. It might not. And now start to push your heel into your hand into each other. So maybe it's actually touching, really push. If it's not, imagine that it is. Bring your heel closer, but then try to push your left hand back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release, left hand down, tuck your back toes, straighten the back leg, rock forwards and backwards, just to release the back of the right leg. And then drop the back knee, step your left knee back, tabletop, swing your feet around. Grab one of your blocks, lay down on your back. Bend your knees, bring your feet to the ground about hip bone distance apart. Take a block and slide it underneath your hips the horizontal way, lowest or medium height. Medium is a little bit more intense, of course. Make sure your hips feel supported. Do a little shimmy of the hips until they feel really supported. Rest your arms by your sides, palms up. And if you like a little shrug of the shoulders under so that you get a little more heart lift, do so. And now walk your feet forward and bring them as wide as the mat. Straighten your legs as much as you'd like. If it doesn't feel good on the low back, then try curling your tailbone up a little bit, or keep your knees bent. Send the breath into the fronts of the legs. And the nice part about doing a lower body focused class is that our attention is downward. We spend so much of our day with our energy up in our heads. And bringing the attention down into the legs is just really nice and grounding for the nervous system. And if your legs were straight, slowly walk your feet back in. And then from here, bring one knee into your chest, and then the other. And then raise your legs up towards the ceiling. Have a little bend in your knees. We did a lot of hamstring work already. If it feels nice, roll out your ankles. And then go the other direction. And then slowly bend your knees, bring your feet back to the ground. Press into your heels, lift your hips, and slide the block out from underneath you, and then lower vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring your arms out wide to a T and just start to knock your knees side to side a bit, massaging out the low back. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Drop your knees to the right and scoot your hips a little to the left. Knees closer in towards the chest. If there's any low back tenderness, turn your gaze in whatever way feels best. Let the eyes soften or close. Focus on feeling what's present rather than thinking about it. What parts of the body can you soften? Can you let go of any gripping in the face or shoulders or even the hands? And then slowly come back towards center. Find the midline of your mat. Drop your knees to the left. You might inch your hips to the right a bit. Turn your gaze in whatever way feels best. And then slowly start to come back towards center. Find the midline of your mat. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze, bringing gratitude towards your body for all that it does for you each and every day. And then stretch your legs long on the mat. And set up for Shavasana. Let your legs splay out wide. Let your arms splay out to the sides. Allow the eyes to soften or to close. Feel the body relax everywhere. Put in as little effort as possible. Trust that you did exactly what was meant to be done. You did enough, and now balance that effort with rest. Keep your attention on the feeling of the breath, releasing more with your exhalations. And I invite you to stay here in Shavasana as long as you can, a few breaths longer, a few minutes longer. And this is where I will leave you. Thank you so much for joining me, for practicing with me today. Om Shanti. Peace.